Good afternoon, Patrick. My name is Jay Obertans. I'm the Internet Manager at Rurik Mazda, helping out our General Manager, CJ King. He had forwarded to me that you may be interested in this particular vehicle, which, to kind of recap, it is a 2020 CX-5. It is the Grand Touring level, which is their higher trim level. And then this was actually a former service loaner of ours. So one thing you may be familiar with throughout the Rurik organization is our Rurik Advantage. Kind of giving back as a simple courtesy and thank you for support and patronage of our customers. All of the oil changes, inspections, loaner cars, car washes will be lifetime free. So with those loaner cars, after 6 months, we have to pull them out and then they get certified, and then thus you have what's in front of me. So going over the Grand Touring trim, you have a lot of safety features, and that's one thing I do want to touch base, because if I walk up to this front emblem, you're going to see it's massive and flat, and this front emblem communicates with the camera system that you see on top of the windshield, all of which are responsible for things such as your radar cruise control, your lane keeping assist, your stop and go traffic, which is actually pretty cool. The vehicle can kind of modulate its speed, even come to a complete stop and pick up following a traffic pattern. Same thing, you'll notice these very bright kind of fancy LED lights in the front. They are adaptive, allowing them to pivot 15 degrees in either angle based on your steering. And then they can even read light coming from other sources to use high and low beams automatically. Now with that front emblem, it's going to be a lot of that extra sonar for things like your pedestrian sensing, your cyclist detection, and then obviously collision mitigation that will slam on the brakes to stop if you were ever to crash into something. Grand Tourings will have your 19-inch alloy wheels, as well as blind spot system, which is a feature that I think is like a must for the Pittsburgh region. It's basically these lights in the side mirrors that will light up if someone's running alongside of you, and if you're part of the 2% of Pittsburgh that uses their turn signal, it'll even beep at you. You'll see that same LED theme kind of go along with the tail lights. You have your dual exhaust pipes. This is the 2.5 Sky Active engine, going out through all-wheel drive, and we did rank out not only the most reliable brand, but also our all-wheel drive ranked out the best in the entire segment, beating out even long-standing things like Subaru and Honda and so forth. Now, interior-wise is where the CX-5 is really going to jump apart and kind of separate itself. Mazda, they take a very German-style approach, things like your Audi, your BMW, in the sense that everything is clean and horizontal. Your biggest sight is going to be the 7-inch screen that sits up on top of the dash. It's touch, however, I use the word loosely, only when you're parked or stopped. When the car is in motion, everything is going to be on this joystick-like system behind the behind the gear shift column. Now, this is the parchment interior, which I had in my last 3 CX-5s, and I have to say I love it. It's quite a statement piece, because you're going to see that Mazda, they're pretty tasteful with it. You kind of just have a little bit of the white along the doors. You have the white running up the console. The front seating surfaces are white. I say that because if I open up the back door, you're going to see the back are black. So you have this very almost kind of tuxedo-like. Now, speaking of back accommodations, you'll have rear vents. If I fold down the center armrest here, you'll see if I lift it up, you have 2 high output USB charging ports there. Now, also being in the Grand Touring are going to be things like your Bose stereo system, to which you'll see there, even which those 2 tweeters you see up in the windshield are responsible for active noise cancellation. And speaking of, we ranked out quieter overall on the highway than the Lexus NX. And then you will see up there you have your standard size sunroof. Now, hopping in here really quick, pretty cool things. You have your digital gauge cluster, and to verify mileage, you have 6,026. In that digital gauge cluster, you'll kind of see those little bars that I'm decreasing and increasing to keep that set distance on the cruise. And then you have paddle shifters if you kind of want to be sporty, or, you know, what I call that Pittsburgh driver. Now, up in the head unit here, you'll see things like navigation. Of course, if I shift into reverse, you're going to have a backup camera. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is kind of like the technology craze of the century, if you would. That is standard in this vehicle, depending upon whatever device that you have plugged in. And then, of course, you'll see over here, I do have the power liftgate. Now, the big thing is going to be that the vehicle is certified. So I wanted to run over that because that is something that we take a lot of pride in. So certification-wise has to do with not only exterior but interior conditioning. So there can't be a lot of big dents, dings, scuffs, scrapes, rips, burns, stains. We do everything that we possibly can to get it pretty much next to new. Now, tires, brakes, and rotors, those all have to be above 50% remaining life, and the good news is giving the mileage, I think pretty much just answered everything I kind of had mentioned. With 6,000 miles on it, all of your tires, brakes, and rotors are probably going to be near 90 to 95% remaining life, and then interior and exterior are going to be next to flawless, as again, Rourke owned this vehicle. It was our courtesy loaner. Now, in terms of the warranty-wise, so a new vehicle has a 3-year and 36,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty on it. What is really unique with the certification is that is actually extended. So this vehicle, though I don't have the exact spec, I believe it's about 8 months into its warranty cycle, which means you're going to have 3 years plus 4 months and out to 48,000 miles on your bumper-to-bumper warranty. And then the powertrain warranty, where you have a 5-year, 60,000 mile warranty for a new vehicle, this one is taken out even further, and you're going to have 6 years and about 4 months and out to 100,000 miles on your powertrain warranty. But I really do appreciate it. I'm going to run inside and warm up my hands. It's a chilly Tuesday here in Pittsburgh. But I really do appreciate the opportunity and the consideration, Patrick, and I'll go ahead and get this uploaded so that way CJ can forward to it. Thanks again.